In 1988, it appears that Michael Dukakis was very likely actually going to win the election over Bush Sr. In a poll before the voting situation. While it was very close, Dukakis was only behind by a single percent, and many advantages over them, such as with women, black people, and union workers. This was, however, for the infamous ad campaign spearheaded by the evil devil in the suit of a man known as Lee Atwater and his Willie Horton ad campaign, which came along. Willie Horton was a terrible and evil man, no doubt about it. He was a monster. But the way the Bush administration played into racial fears and stereotypes to steal an election is still without a doubt an immense act of harm. He was a man who was let out of prison because at the time they had a program that let those incarcerated on the weekends, and he decided to be evil, and he decided to not only kill a child but repeatedly rape a woman and murder another. This ad and another from the Trump administration during the midterms paint the picture of all people in a specific race being murderers and rapists. In the case of Willie, black people. Bush won by playing to the racism, marking a quote new low in campaigning. When during the Times, the Times themselves, they thought Dukakis would win. I tell this anecdote not only because it's important to understanding our country's history, but also because of how allowed it is to portray minorities as always and only being their worst parts, their worst people. Only being the rapists and murderers, or cop killers in the case of Luis Comtis during the Trump administration. And while they were from completely different eras, from different millennia, they served basically the exact same purpose. They would show a big example, a big showing of hate, a big showing that because this one person did it, now everyone's going to do it. With Willie Horton, they were saying, if you let Dukakis win, he's going to be light on crime. He's going to let prisoners out of prison. And they're all gonna rape and murder women. And with Luis, it was saying that if you don't elect me, Trump, then they're all gonna come in. All these illegal Mexican immigrants are gonna come over the border, and they're gonna be murdering the cops. They're gonna be killing. But this is just a big example. A smaller one, but still very bad, is such as when Trump said that I'm an animal because I'm Mexican. He said that this Mexican gang, they are animals. He didn't actually even say, and during that entire little, you could definitely infer it, but he never specifically said these gang members are the people I'm talking about. He just said them. They are animals. They're not people. He said they are not people. They're animals. He was essentially dog whistling to say I am an animal because I am a Mexican. While these strategies do tend to work, it is so objectively wrong and racist to just show all of us as our worst elements. Are we then going to say, oh, because this one white person shot up a school, now all white people are school shooters? No, no. And it's not even completely about race. A big part of it is. But just in portraying criminals purely as evil, purely as violent, crazy rapists. Let me give you a statistic. From about 3 to 7% of those in federal prisons are there for violent offenses. 44 to 47% are for drug related offenses. And while in state prisons, it is fairly different. It's about 62% are violent, and 12 to 17 for drugs. They should still show that not all criminals are like this. If in one type of the prison in our country has this, about half of them just for drugs and not anything really violent, like as low as 5% or 3%, that just kind of is proof right there. It doesn't have to be the entirety of it, even just this one part of it. It shows that they're not all like this because we're not all violent. Because I mean, that would mean that a third of all black men are violent then, since a third of all black men have the felon title and/or have been incarcerated during their lives. And also, just another thing, think about why they would do this, why the government would be doing this, why the media. It's a little bit cringy to say, but still, the media, movies, TV shows, newspapers, books, everything. Why they would portray criminals as all evil. We already know we shouldn't really trust our government, especially in the United States. Our government is awful. They are so corrupt, and we know this. So why should we think that this is different? Why should we think this is any different? Especially when prisons for profit is so well profitable and so big and always has been. Look at who it benefits. And look who it is beneficial to. It's beneficial to those in power. It's beneficial to those not being targeted. It's beneficial to the rich white men. It's beneficial to show prisoners as all evil, as not humans, as things that can be just thrown away, can be locked away for life, or the key thrown away. They do this so that we don't say anything. They do this so that we'll not only be complacent in, but we'll actively support them, sending our fathers and sons away for life. This is why they keep pushing that agenda, because it makes them money. Thank you.